We are back with head coach Nick Hills. He joins us from his office for his post-game interview, which is presented by our friends at CMC Mitchell & Associates. The final score here this afternoon on homecoming, number 2 North Dakota State 24, Southern Illinois 3. Coach Hill, appreciate the time as always. And, you know, we were talking about just a moment ago before you joined us how you look at how this game started and your offense was moving it and the emotion. You could kind of hear the crowd starting to get into it, to get behind Jake in the offense. Yes, you turn it over. North Dakota State responded, and they marched down the field and scored 7-0. That kind of had the build of a game that could really get out of control. But your group didn't. They kept fighting throughout this game today. What was your response, or how did you feel your team responded to some initial good things you did in the game, but to also where that game could have gotten out of hand a little bit earlier than what it did?
Yeah, you know, we took the ball, won the toss and took the ball. Felt like extra possession in the first half was going to matter. And, you know, unfortunate we haven't been turning the ball over. I don't think we have a fumble this season. And, you know, going down and driving, and it's just, you know, unfortunate. They went down, and then I felt like our team responded with the fight and the grit that it needed to have today. I felt like that you never know, but the energy and just the focus and the meetings that we've had on what type of what we want to represent and who we want to be, you know, with guys out and things like that, it's a zero excuses, and how we want to be represented is a team that plays with passion and grit and toughness and commitment to doing that when you are 2-4 and you're playing a top 2, maybe the best team in the country. That never changes, and it starts with everybody making that commitment. And I felt like we got that tonight from our guys, and as the head coach, I'm proud of that. We're gonna have to find a way here. We need a break pretty badly to maybe get a few guys back down the stretch run, but there's some things that in that game that we can build off of. I would say we would all say that we're not a top 5 team right now. But there was a competitive edge to go compete with the best that needs to be there. That maybe you know, we didn't have that edge a little bit and kind of searching for that. But I felt like our guys showed up and competed. There's zero. Hey, we'll be fine with that. 24-3 is, you know, inexcusable. But our job is going to be then to have the attitude that we can go find a way to win 5 in a row. It starts with winning 1. So there is that hope to go do that. We got to find what that was and build off the things that we did, correct some things and played better football in this game, and continue to grow on the things. Obviously playing a true freshman quarterback and a true freshman running back, the things that they're going to continue to get better with snaps and find a way to put points on the board. But we'll have that mentality as we go into the bye. Really, our team needs to rest. We'll be able to practice young guys, but we'll come and compete these last 5 weeks.
Hey, Nick, Mike Trude. First down seemed to be a really tough down today. Unofficially, I think there were 8 times out of 24, 25 first and 10 opportunities. Only 8 of those times did you gain positive yardage. I know you said that first down had to be better. Was it just execution on first down today that put you in those second and longs a lot of time?
Yeah, you know, then this was probably the first time that we picked up some third and longs against them.
Yes.
So we kept some drives going, which usually is really tough to do. And especially early, we found ourselves, we picked up a couple third and longs and kept the chains moving. But listen, I mean, no one's going to deny. I mean, up front, the starting 5 of them offensively and their defensive line is, you know, one of 2 best teams in the country. Just their physicality, the way that they move up front and their twist games out of their 4 down front. It's a challenge, but you also can't throw it a ton on first down and go backwards. And so, I don't know. We'll have to go back and look. I felt like we were able to get in some manageable downs. I was proud of Jake Curry. I think all of Saluki Nation should be, you know, proud of the first time guy in, you know, almost 40 years that 18 years old went out there, and kid has some grit and some things to build off of, and I look forward to him to continue to grow.
Coach, I talked to Mike and Luke about the competitive character was very evident today. And, you know, offensively, when you look back at this game, you're probably going to see just a handful of missed opportunities. I thought the plans on both sides were good, what we had dialed up. And going into the bye week, you know, just how important that continuity is with all the changes, all the new people. People don't understand how hard that is to get that synergy of guys working together and where they're going to be and the timing of everything. Is that something going into the bye week that you feel good about, that, like you talked about, you could build on and kind of keep going in a good direction that way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've had to do it now 3 different times as far as kind of restarting with that trigger guy of getting comfortable and what he likes, and the players getting comfortable with him and what his strengths are. And so through 7 games, you know, having 3 different starters, finding that rhythm, it was going to be a challenge. You know, even, you know, multiple times, it's tough to score a ton of points against them historically over the last 12 years. And we found ourselves in their territory. I mean, we fumbled it on the first drive down in, you know, the red area or on the fringe of the red area. You know, made a field goal, missed a field goal, went backwards on that drive. I think we'll find, you know, there's probably 5 or 6 plays off the top of my head that, you know, could have changed the game offensively that, you know, we were just maybe a little bit, you know, off on as far as a couple things. You know, there in the second half when it was still, I think, 17-3, we had VD dialed up, kind of waiting to get to that play, and we overthrew him over there on the sideline for an explosive. And when you play these guys, as you know, coaching against them, a lot of those opportunities don't find themselves, you know. So when you dial one up and they're there, and you know, we had Jathan down the sideline on one that we got to, we overthrew him. We had a couple, you know, drops, I think the first drive when we came out of the first half, and we got to a slant the way they were playing Keontae in this game, and you know, had a little bit of a low throw on a slant. We dropped the ball. Could have been a first down. We go 3 and out. So you know, against a tough team, you can't kick yourself in the foot. You know, even the little trick play reverse pass that we had down there in the red zone, you know, VD, that's not a play that you rep a ton, but, you know, Hogue's running wide open. VD kind of took his eyes down and got to the, you know, running it and reversed field and stuff. You'd like for him to, you know, the design is to see Hogue slipping out there. And so they just didn't happen. And but like I said, as far as, like, you know, the grit and competitiveness, like you said, Luke, like, you turn the ball over, they walk the ball down and score. I think defensively this was our best effort against a team that's, you know, leading the league in scoring and putting up big-time numbers. They settled in and they competed. You know, I played a true freshman defensive end for the first time, and Lucas McDaniel showed up in a big way. He's been showing up in practice, giving him opportunity. You know, almost got a strip sack. The ball got out. He put pressure on the quarterback. So there's a lot of guys continuing to show up and show some growth.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, the fewest points they had this year was 26, and that was against Colorado in their lone loss this year in Week 1. Let's get you out of here on this note, Coach Hill. Appreciate the time as always. What did you feel was the biggest step forward defensively today that you can carry over and build off of going into your bye?
Well, there wasn't a lot of explosive plays. You know, they every drive that they had to go and earn it, and we got stops. You know, I try to track during the game. They don't put that on the stat sheet, but I think we maybe forced 3 and outs. We got a 4th down stop around midfield, which is like a turnover. So we didn't get it. We're not finding ourselves getting a ton of turnovers in the game, and so these last 5 weeks we're going to have to find a way to turn teams over and create momentum and put ourselves in some better opportunities, setting the offense up and. They had to earn it. You know, they ran the ball effectively, which they're going to do up front with that offensive line. But we didn't, you know, most of the time you look at a North Dakota State film and they're ripping off at least 1 or 2, big time runs right down the chute, and they wear you down, and then one goes for 50 or 60 and it's a touchdown. And guys were running to the football. We missed some tackles at the line of scrimmage, but then there was the pursuit getting there and getting the ball down. And so we let the one wheel route, the hide route, go on the first drive. That was an explosive pass play, and I felt like, limiting those no explosive plays for touchdowns. We still got to find a way to get teams to kick, field goals in the red zone.
Coach, appreciate the time as always. We'll catch up with you during the bye, and then we'll be on the road to Indiana State when we get back to it.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.